This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video I will share the latest Kentucky Derby news for Tuesday, April 29th, and I will discuss post-time favorites in the Kentucky Derby. Now, they drew the post positions for the Kentucky Derby on Saturday night. We have a 20-horse field plus one also eligible. Baeza is the also eligible, and the Derby field is on the screen now. And the Derby scratch time is Friday, May 2nd at 9 a.m. If there is not a scratch prior to that deadline, Baeza will not be able to run in the Kentucky Derby. And I uploaded a Derby post position video on Saturday night. You can check out that video now on my channel if you have not seen it already. And I also posted a Preakness future wager video on my channel a few days ago. So you can check out that one if you're interested. The Preakness future wager opened on April 25th, and it closes before the running of the Kentucky Derby on Saturday, May 3rd. In that video, I go through all of the Preakness future wager horses, and I mention a few worth playing. And if you're interested in my annual Triple Crown Series full cards, you will find them at therunawayhorse.com on my shop page. I've been offering my Triple Crown Series products since the late 1990s. I've had a lot of success over the years. And in my last couple videos, I added my 2024 Triple Crown season full card highlights. You can check them out now if you want to see those. And last year, I did a Kentucky Oaks Day full card, a Derby Day full card. For Preakness Week, I did Black Eyed Susan Day, day before the Preakness, and Preakness Day. And then Belmont Stakes Week, I did multiple full cards at Saratoga, including Belmont Stakes Day. And I'm going to have the same offerings this year. And I started working on my Oaks and Derby full cards on April 26th. My Oaks full card will be finished tonight, and my Derby card will be finished on Wednesday night, April 30th. So right now, my early Derby analysis is complete, and I will send that to you if you pre-purchase my Derby products. You can go to therunawayhorse.com on my shop page if you're interested in my Triple Crown season products, and I will include a link to that shop page in the video description below. Now we're going to discuss the two workouts from April 29th at Churchill Downs for the Derby contenders, beginning with Admire Daytona, the UAE Derby winner, and he had one previous workout, but it was very slow. A very easy 4 furlong move in 53.20, 33rd best of 33. That was on April 22nd. And then earlier this morning, he traveled 5 furlongs in 102.40, 11th best of 13. He worked in company with a Dale Romans maiden claiming winner, and he went out 6 furlongs and 116.56. Luxor Cafe, the Japanese invader, he breezed an easy 5 furlongs in 102.40, 11th best of 13 earlier today, and this was a solo move. He did not work in company. So we didn't learn much about the two shippers on Tuesday. I'm not quite sure what we're going to get from either of those horses on the first Saturday in May. Now we're going to look at the record of post-time favorites in the Kentucky Derby. Now, prior to the year 2000, there was a 21-year drought for favorites, but Fusaiichi Pegasus in 2000 ended that 21-year drought when he won the Kentucky Derby that year. So from 2000 to 2024, the last 25 Kentucky Derbies, the favorites won 9 of those races and finished in the top 3 on 16 occasions. Now, the favorites were on a roll in the Kentucky Derby from 2013 to 2018 because the favorites won 6 straight Derbies during that time frame. No winning favorites since 2018 in the Kentucky Derby, but the last 13 years, favorites won 6 Kentucky Derbies and finished in the trifecta 11 times. So top 3 finishes in the last 13 years for the favorites in the Kentucky Derby, 11 trifecta finishes, 85% the favorites have been finishing in the money the last 13 Kentucky Derbies. Those are good stats. And now we're going to look at the chances of 2025 Kentucky Derby favorite journalism. Do we think that he's vulnerable, or do we think that he's going to be right there at the end? Looking at his record on paper, it definitely is strong. He was 3rd in his career debut. That was a 5-horse field at 6 furlongs. That just distance was too short for him. And then a 10-horse field, a 1-mile race at Del Mar, second time out. He sat in mid-pack, and he won that race easily. And then since they stretched him out, he continues to get better. He won the Grade 2 Low South Futurity. He was sitting in second, very handy, and he won that race easily. Getaway Car and Gaming were 2nd and 3rd, 2 Bob Baffert trainees. And then in the San Felipe Stakes, the fastest Kentucky Derby points race this year, he stalked from 4th in a 5-horse field, pulled away and won easily. Now the Santa Anita Derby last time out, He did not have a clean trip from the inside post. He had Barnes right outside of him, and he was pinned down on the rail, and Barnes kept him there. And Umberto Rispoli, who rides journalism, was able to get him out of that box, move him out, and he was able to run down Baeza, and those two were more than 8 lengths clear of the show finisher that day. And your 2-year-old champion, Citizen Bull, was up the track that day. So for journalism, he's run 5 times with 4 wins and a show finish. Those 4 wins were his last 4 starts. They were all around 2 turns, and he's 3 for 3 in graded route races. He's got that good tactical speed, and now we'll look at his speed ratings, and his speed ratings look strong on paper. He's improved his speed ratings in all 5 starts, so he continues to get faster. No matter what kind of speed ratings you're using, he just looks like a solid contender. He's just faster than the other horses. So he comes out of the fastest races, and he's well bred as well. He's a son of Curlin, and they paid $825,000 for him. Uncle Mo is the dam sire. Seems like he'll run all day. And then you can look at his late pace ratings as well, and he earns a strong late pace rating. So he's the best finisher in this race. There are some deeper closers than him, but the thing that he has is he has that tactical speed where he can sit much closer to the pace than some of those deep closers. And then he's already faster than them in the stretch based on those late pace ratings. So if he's able to work out a decent trip, he'll probably be tough to run down because he'll get the jump on the late closers. And he may have plenty left in the stretch as well. So we'll have to see how all of that plays out. He's going to need a clean trip. Now, there are some people, they were making comments in my videos, they're concerned he's coming out of short fields and they think he's vulnerable. But as I said many times, it doesn't matter how many horses they faced in their previous races. None of the horses have ever seen a 20-horse field. They're never going to see a situation like this again. So they all have to overcome that, and especially the late closers. Now, any horse can get in trouble in the Kentucky Derby. They can have a troubled start. They can get shuffled back. We'll have to see how all of that plays out. But any of the horses, any of the 20 entrants could easily find trouble at some point, and especially the deep closers, because they're going to have to pass more horses. If you have a horse like Journalism, let's say that he sits in anywhere between 6th and 10th place early, then he's really in a 10-horse field because all those other horses are behind him. But if you have horses coming from 18th or 19th place, they're going to have to pass almost the entire field and work their way through traffic to get the job done. So having a handy horse like Journalism could be a good thing. And he seems to be training well. Everything's looked good. He looks like a solid favorite. So just looking overall, looking at his numbers, his speed ratings, his late pace ratings, his pedigree, he's got a good pedigree as well. His gallops have looked good. His workouts have been good. So everything is pointing to him running a quality race. It's just a question of what kind of trip will he be able to work out. It looks like the Derby pace will be fast, and I'm looking for him to run the Epicenter type race. Now, Epicenter a few years ago for Steve Asmussen, he ran in the Derby, and he was the favorite, and he ran a quality race. He was able to have a horse. He was a horse that had early pressing speed, but he was able to sit back in about 8th place, get the jump on the late runners. Now, he did not win the Derby. Rich Strike came up the inside and beat him. But that's the kind of trip that I'm expecting Journalism to sit. I think he's going to sit somewhere between 8th and 10th place within hailing distance of the leaders. He'll make his move before the late runners. He'll get the jump on those closers. And it's possible that another closer, a deeper closer, could just have a full head of steam and be able to run him down. That's certainly possible. But we're talking about favorites in the Derby and trifecta chances. And just looking at Journalism's record, I would not leave him off my tickets. He's very consistent. He's never lost the round 2 turns. He's a 3-time graded winner. He's a grade 1 winner. He's already won at a mile 1 1/8. He has the best late pace ratings. There's just a lot of things that point to him finishing somewhere in the top 3 if he runs his best race. There's always a chance that we could have a horse like Rich Strike, some horse like that that's going to be able to run the race of their life as a closer, and the race will set up and they'll win. But if you're playing trifectas, you definitely don't want to leave Journalism off your tickets based on his record, based on how this race is going to play out, based on the kind of trip he expects to get if he gets out of the gate, is just able to work out a nice mid-pack trip behind multiple speed horses in this Derby. The Journalism does look like a formidable favorite to finish somewhere in the trifecta if he continues that sharp form, and he certainly has looked the part of the Derby winner all week at Churchill Downs since he arrived. I'm going to be doing a Kentucky Oaks analysis video later tonight, so stay tuned for that one. and I will be back tomorrow with a Kentucky Derby analysis video. I will go through the field and give out my top choice. So stay tuned for those always popular videos coming up soon on my channel. And like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.